Some of you guys might be familiar with my personal rig right here. I've had it together in its current form for about a year. I was using the 7980XE that's in there before that, but when Enermax sent over their LickTech 2360 SE cooler right after CES 2019, I put it together in the Lian PC 011 Dynamic, and I've been running it this way ever since. When I first did it, I actually did a review on the cooler, and it was performing really well. It was running quiet, it was running cool, no problem with the CPU, but recently I've had some problems. Things have started to get, a little squirrely, especially on longer exports in Adobe Premiere. Temperatures have gotten up to 90 degrees, 95 degrees, and it's not really something that I'm super comfortable with, especially on a chip that is not overclocked all that much. It's only overclocked to 4 gigahertz. Yes, it is 18 cores, but it used to be running a lot cooler than it is now, and that has me concerned. Enermax has not such a great history with their coolers, especially this LickTech line experiencing some clogging, some gunking, and I think that there may be something hindering the flow of coolant in here and preventing our CPU from running as it should. Now, I'm not entirely sure how long I'm going to have this together. There are some new processors coming out, and I do have a personal rig reboot scheduled as soon as I get my hands on one of them. However, for the time being, I still have a lot of videos to render. And as such, I need a solution to this. And EK has come to the rescue.
The Electronics Mag 15 is here to blow away your expectations about what it means to be a thin and light gaming laptop. Featuring the most powerful mobile hardware on the market, including up to an RTX 2070, the Mag 15 tips the scales at only 4.15 pounds due to its magnesium alloy construction. A super responsive 144Hz IPS screen, full mechanical keyboard, and smooth as butter glass trackpad make your mobile gaming experience better than it's ever been before. Check out the link below to learn more.
So this is EK's classic RGB P360 kit. It's another edition of a loop in a box, which you probably have seen before, but anything from EK is going to carry a lot of weight in the water cooling community, and when they come out with a product like this, it's definitely worthwhile to pay attention. It comes with everything that you need to create a CPU loop, and you could also obviously integrate their GPU water blocks as well. They did send over RTX 2080 Ti Strix block, but unfortunately it does not fit our graphics card. So we're just going to be building this loop using the fittings, the tubing, the pumpers combo, the radiator, everything that comes in this box. We're going to see how it performs on our 7980XE, see if temperatures get any better. Hopefully they do, because they've been getting a little toasty. But before we do that, let's rewind. I took some footage when I was back in my office just a little while ago, as far as how temperatures are with just one run of Cinebench. So I'm gonna snap my fingers and we're gonna go right to that footage.
So here we are in our original state. We've got the Enermax LickTech 2 cooler. I forget exactly. It's the SE one, the white one. But I've been using that AIO in this build for, well, I guess since it came out, so since like CES or something like that. And basically this system runs 24/7, and despite the changes that Enermax has made to their production line, there's still some concerns about how this cooler performs over the long term. And indeed, we're getting some temperatures that I don't really like to see. The CPU is idling in the 40s, and the overclock on here is not crazy. It's only overclocked to 4 gigahertz, and as you can see by the multipliers here, it doesn't run at 4 gigahertz all the time. It downclocks itself when it's idling. So sitting in the 40s without any load is, it's a little concerning, and it is definitely higher than when I first installed this cooler. So let's do a Cinebench run and see how that goes and see what kind of temperatures we end up with. And then we will check back in when this is all done. If this starts, there we go. And we'll see where we ended up as far as temperatures. So these all clocked up to 40. Multiplier went up to 40 as it should. So the CPU is running 4 gigahertz all cores. And then our temperatures went up into the high 80s, low 90s for the core. And then as you could I guess tell, they're settling back down right now. But this is what we're looking at, this row right here for maximum, and I think we could do better than that. I know this chip. I've had this chip clocked at 5 gigahertz all cores, so this is no slouch of a chip, and I think 360 AIO should be able to handle a 4 gigahertz overclock and run a little bit cooler than this. So let's swap over to the EK system and see what kind of differences we get.
Obviously, things are not running as they should. This was definitely running cooler when it was new. I'm not going to mess around with cutting it open and trying to find out what happened. I mean, maybe I'll disassemble it at a later time, but for now, I just need a system that works and runs a little cooler. So I'm going to disassemble this, take it apart, install the EK kit, and we'll see what kind of temperatures we get.
Of course, the first thing you do is take the side panels off, take the top panels off, and prepare to take everything out. And what do I find? A dead fly. There's a dead fly in here. I should definitely do maintenance a little more often. Maybe the scariest thing about what we have to do today is take this cable management bar off, because I don't know about you guys, but I do not cable manage my systems, my personal systems, like I do my show systems, and I'm a little scared what's going to happen when we take this off. All these cables are going to come flying out at me like some kind of giant spaghetti monster. Oh my god. Now I gotta find my, I gotta find the fan cables. Ugh. Alright. We did it. We got our cables out. Here they are. Here is the radiator and the fans. Now just gotta take this block out of here and start unpacking this bad boy. Disregard the amount of extra thermal paste that I have on there. I don't know why I put so much on. But take a look in the center of that cold plate. You see that oval shaped spot, that's maybe that square shaped spot right in the middle right there. That indicates to me that the IHS isn't perfectly flat, and maybe the cold plate is not making as great contact with the IHS as it could potentially be. That could certainly lead to higher temperatures. However, it doesn't change the fact that with the same cooler, with the same mount, temperatures used to be better. So I'm not going to discount the fact that there's probably still something wrong with this cooler. There is our naked chip, and let's get it closed again. Here on the table is what is actually inside the classic P360 box. Starting with the radiator, we've got a PE360 all copper 45 millimeter thick radiator. So this thing is no joke. This is definitely something that you use in a regular custom loop. We got 3 Vardar Evo RGB fans. These are 120 millimeter fans. Over here is our block. This is the Supremacy Classic RGB block, along with an AMD mount, if you need that. This is our coolant. This is cryo fuel concentrate. And then you got some dyes here, yeah, there we go. So we've got red, blue, and yellow dyes you could do with what you want. Obviously, instruction manual. This is a spider bracket. There we go, spider bracket for mounting your pump res combo. So this is your standard DDC pump res combo. Got some soft tubing, your fittings, and then some accessories. So this is a pump testing, basically allows you to plug your pump directly into your power supply to run it. This is a fan extender. This is a jumper for your power supply. Then we've got some splitters. So there's RGB splitter, another RGB splitter, and then a fan splitter. So this should be everything that you need. Like I said, they also did send me a GPU block, but I can't use that in this build, so maybe we'll use that a little bit later. But let's get to work. Let's install everything and see how our temps go. If you guys are as frustrated as I am by your RGB plugs coming undone, this is my solution. I use just a little bit of orange duct tape and make sure that they're secured with that. And these things never will come unplugged, and it also makes them a lot easier to locate when they're in the back of your case in a giant jumble of cables. Cooling Master actually has a really nice solution for this now. Their stuff comes with little clips that work really well, but until all the companies start to do that, this is my solution. Lock and fittings installed. When you're tightening these down, guys, just be aware that they do need to be fairly tight to prevent leaks, but if you tighten them too much, it can crack the acrylic lock. So just be really careful with how far you're torquing these down, and you know, don't just do it super crazy tight, but just make sure that they're not moving and you should prevent leaks. Radiator and fans installed, blocks installed, wiring is done. I am missing a DIMM. I had to take that out to tighten everything up in there. But now we got to figure out where to put this thing. And I'm thinking here, I think there, put it on the spider bracket, and then it'll be easy routing from the fittings there down and then here over. So let's give that a try. Well, to be honest, this isn't the absolute cleanest or probably going to be the best looking job because I am doing it kind of fast, but this is mounted very securely here and the tubing runs are going to be easy. So it's going to go up to the rad, out of the rad, into the block, out of the block, right back into the pump. So this should be good. This should work well. And let's get it tubed up. There she is. We're all done here. I don't know what this kink is right here in this tube. I noticed that after I connected everything up, but it must have been something that came from the package that way. There's no strain being put on this tube. There's no reason for it to kink on its own. So I'm really not worried about it. There's plenty of flow path through there. So shouldn't be an issue. And like I said, I don't know how long this is going to be together anyway. Maybe a couple weeks or something like that. But we got this all done. Let's fill it with coolant and check our temperatures. Here we are, all set up and running with no problems. Went with blue coolant. It matches absolutely nothing in my system, but I figured that it looks pretty cool. So you can actually still see some bubbles inside the CPU block, and there are still some air bubbles in the rest of the system as well. Those take time to work out, and I don't want to stretch this video out over a course of days as the bubbles work themselves out of the system. So just keep that in mind, I guess, but it shouldn't really have too much impact on our testing. But looks pretty good. That pump res just fits in perfectly right next to the glass. And let's run some tests. So here's our idle. We're idling in the mid-high 30s now, as opposed to the 40s or low 40s. So these temperatures aren't massively different from the AIO, but they are lower. And we've got Cinebench loaded up, and let's just take it for a spin and see what happens. So let's just swing over to our temperatures here. The fans did ramp up quite a bit. It sounds like they're running quite a bit faster than the old fans, so that certainly does help as well. They have a higher max RPM, but our temperatures are sitting pretty much in like the low 80s, high 70s. There are a couple of cores that are peaking up a little bit higher than that, and now the test is done, so we're settling back down here. But if we look at our peak temperatures, core 2 got up to 97C, which is a little unusual, and core 12 got up to 93C, but everything in between is lower than where we were at before. So I think we could call this a success. Even if it wasn't like a massive success, it's definitely an improvement, and it'll definitely help with long-term stability. I was getting like some really weird behavior from the system when it was overheating after being in Premiere for a while, and I was just kind of sick of it. I got a couple crashes, and I can't have that when I'm doing my production workflow. So this is definitely going to help. Thank you very much to EK for sending over your P360 kit. This will stay in here until we're done with this system, which will probably be in a couple weeks, like I said. But for now, this is doing a really good job, and I am glad to be out of the danger zone temperature-wise. So that'll about do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. The P360 kit looks like it's going to be a pretty solid performer. I have no complaints so far. The 7980XE is a really difficult chip to cool, and it looks like it's doing an okay job so far. I guess I could give more updates on Twitter as I use this for a little bit longer, see how it works when I'm rendering something out in Adobe. This video right now is going to have to be rendered out using this system, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully temperatures stay in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, which would be a definite improvement over where we were at before. Yeah, so that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.